Students at the University of Texas, friends of the 40 acres, even some of you haters out there, welcome to this special On the Roof with the Frank Erwin Center, the Drum, here in beautiful capital city Austin, edition of the Fireside Chat. Joined here by special guest, well-known Austinite, friend of the 40 acres, Texas grad, just one of the best human beings this world's known and still gets to know on a daily basis, Matthew McConaughey. Matt, we're glad you're here, man.
Hey, great to be here, Coach.
Big time. Let's get right to it.
Come on.
Students, I'm a bucket list guy. You know, in life, I always dreamed about, actually, this is a true story, man. I swear on my 3 daughters. You, Charles Barkley, and Willie Nelson on a roof. I always had this vision.
Oh, yeah.
2 out of 4 ain't bad.
You're on your way, man. That little foursome would be a hell of a party. We might need that. I think they got a fire extinguisher here already. We might really need it then.
Could you help me get that together sometime, man?
Let's work on that, man.
So speaking of bucket list, I know you're a man that's accomplished a lot, but is there anything kind of left on the list, man, something you'd really like to do? Tell the Texas students.
What would I like to do in life? I tell you what, this would be my favorite goal to achieve in life. To have my 3 kids, I got 13, 12, and 9, to when they're 30 years old, that I can be counted as one of their best friends on one hand.
Solid. That's solid advice. Simple and solid. Speaking of the Frank Erwin Center, we're sitting here on the drum, we're on the roof, and it's a beautiful day in the capital city doing the Fireside Chat. I know you've this building's been a part of your life for a long time, not only as a student, but post-grad. What is one of your best memories of the drum?
Oh, I had a good time at a Warner concert, a Sting concert, but I really like Kevin Durant putting up 34 points in 2007 in his Big 12 debut. There was the BMW years, which were very nice. There was beating Kansas, I think, in 2008 when they were 3, where the students we did raise the roof off of this place. It was lifted. You could feel it shake. There was an Arkansas game that we didn't win, but that house we had this house on fire that night. Special
venue, no doubt. Why are we on the roof here at this Fireside Chat? Tomorrow is the last game in history of men's basketball here at the Frank Erwin Center. We play the defending national champions, top 10 ranked Baylor Bears from right up
that road,
I-35.
Right behind us.
Game starts at 8 o'clock. Texas students, we're opening the gates, gate E and double E, at 6:30 p.m. We got free t-shirts, free Raising Canes, all sorts of stuff. We hope you come to the game tomorrow. Any advice for the students tomorrow as we capture this kind of moment in a lifetime to come to the game tomorrow?
Look, gang, y'all know, but believe how much you can actually have to do with the outcome of a game. Y'all know that, but you don't very often get to special times like this where you get to be there for the last game in a place that is as historical as the Frank Erwin Center, and you're going to shepherd it off to what's going to be the Moody Center next year. But this is the last time. So I say this: we dare you. Coach Beard and I are on the roof right now, all right? But we won't be tomorrow night. So blow this thing off tomorrow night.
Yeah, I love that, man. Speaking of foreigner, nice little soundbite there. One thing I enjoy with the Texas students, the relationship that we're forming this first year, it's just a little advice from time to time. I try to give the Texas students a song of the week every time we do a Fireside. Mine, this time, actually is an old school. It's by the Drifters, a 1962 song, Up on the Roof. Texas students, check that out. James Taylor did a remix years later, but my personal favorite is the original, Up on the Roof. That's my song of the week. What's your song of the week for the Texas students?
Take the lid off. Take the lid off. It's an imaginary thing. Take the lid off. Fly, baby. That's an original that I just made up.
I like it. Texas students also like to kind of share not only a spot around town to frequent and maybe a short little road trip. My frequent kind of dive restaurant of the week is El Patio on Guadalupe.
Oh, yes.
If there's a better Tex-Mex there, I want to meet it.
I don't think there is. Saltine crackers with the chips?
Hell yeah, they do. El Patio.
That way in 89 too.
El Patio. If you're going to take a little road trip, how about 80 miles right down the road, down there by Llano Mason, Castell, Texas. One light town, actually no light town. Castell General Store, Randy, his son Mark. Get the burger, tell him to cook it medium, and toast the bun. What's your favorite spot or one of your favorite spots in Austin, and how about a road trip to recommend to the Texas students?
Favorite spot in Austin, gosh, dog, the grill in my backyard's good when I got the right ribeyes off the right ranch down south of here.
Are the students invited to the backyard?
Are the students invited? Yeah, all 52 grand. Here we go, baby. I gotta have a lot of cow for y'all. Right now, my favorite restaurants. When my mother-in-law comes into town and actually makes feijoada, she's from Brazil. That's a special dish that she makes, so I don't have to travel far from it.
Can you spell feijoada?
Feijoada? I have no idea how to spell it. My son was up here. He could say it with the Portuguese accent a hell of a lot better than I can too. But it's called feijoada. What do we got in town, man? I still Uchi and Uchiko are still my favorite sushi in the world, and that's funny because we're an inland town. But I've been to Japan. I've had it in LA, everywhere. When I'm gonna go eat clean sushi, that's still my favorite. Look, burger. I got to tell you this. This is an oldie but a goodie, and it's not a special, and it is a chain. But damn, it's a fun chain. This is where I stop when I'm on the road. I can't get enough of Sonic cheeseburgers. The double cheeseburger with jalapenos and double cheese, and they do melt the cheese into their top bun. That, dang, I like pulling up and they come out on a roller skate and they give you peppermint there for your little free dessert, and you can control your air temperature in your own climate. You got your own music on. I love sitting there, still hanging on my window. You know, I got a card for life free Sonic food. Because I've talked about them so much.
You a tater tot guy or fry guy?
I'm a fry guy more than a tater tot guy, but I will actually go back for another burger before I'll do fries most of the time.
Solid advice. It's all coming out today. Solid advice. Texas students, we also hit on the educational part here in the Fireside chat. You know, that side's important to me. My book of the week, we actually talked about your book a couple Firesides ago, Green Lights. Solid, man. Solid work.
Thank you.
How about Willie Nelson's book here, Letters to America? I am currently reading this. I'm not a speed reader, but I do read a few pages a week, put it on the bedside table. It's a great book, Willie Nelson. Any book recommendations besides your own?
Yes. It's not a book. It's an essay by Ralph Waldo Emerson. It's an essay called Self-Reliance. Man, I don't know. It's like 23 pages long, but it's so... every one of you students should read it. It's so damn good to talk about speed reading. Here's how slow of a reader I am and how good that essay on self-reliance is. Have you read that?
No.
Oh, geez. Open it up tonight. It's so good that, for me, I read one line and had to go, whoa. I got to shut the book and take a walk with that to see if I can apply that in my life for the next 2 weeks before I could go back to read the next line. It took me like 8 months to read the 23 pages. That's how heavy and good that the words were. Ralph Waldo Emerson's essay on self-reliance.
Take it all in, Texas students. Hit replay, watch it again. Worldly advice coming here for you. You know, Matthew, when I think of you, obviously I think a guy that enjoys living. You just seem to me one of those guys that probably isn't motivated by possessions, but probably kind of the next moment in the journey. But with that being said, I like to share some things with the Texas students from time to time. One of my possessions that I really value is this old t-shirt. Huh?
Love
Got
it.
this in the early days.
The original JK Living shirt.
Hey, I've had about 11 jobs since then, a bunch of storage sheds all over the world. This thing has always made it somehow. This is the original too. This one has made it. Anything in your old leather bag, any one possession that you're going to grab?
Yeah. The first Og Mandino book, The Greatest Salesman in the World, is a paperback that found me. I didn't actually find it. I tell the story in Green Lights, but it found me at a time in my life while I was at school right here, and it gave me the courage to take the choices to go the direction that I'm heading on now. And it's called The Greatest Salesman in the World. It was a paperback, and I found it. It gave me the courage to say I don't want to go to law school. I want to go to film school. When I went to film school, started making films behind the camera, gave me the courage to go, oh, maybe I'll get in front of the camera. Well, that was back in 1990. So whatever, 32, 42 years later, that book really has had a lot to do with where I am right now.
I love that word, courage. We're going to need some courage to try to beat Baylor here tomorrow night at 8 o'clock at the Irwin Center. Last game ever in the history of this great venue. Texas students, we're going to open the doors at 6:30 for you with all sorts of free stuff down the road here, Irwin Center. Matthew, another thing I really enjoy with relationships we're having with the students here our first year is just trying to give them some advice.
Yeah.
No fluff. We try to bring it from the heart.
Yeah.
Obviously, to me, you're a relationship guy.
Yeah.
Beautiful family, beautiful wife. I say this with all due respect. Your wife is smoking, man.
Yes.
You could be
I agree.
you could be a college recruiter. 'Cause I look at you, you're a good-looking guy, but I look at her, man. This is what recruiting is all about.
Outran my coverage.
Yeah, I like it. And so any love advice, relationship advice
and love
to these
advice.
Texas students that find themselves in relationships?
It ain't supposed to be easy. Also this, I would say. The girl or guy of your dreams don't exist. So find the best one you can right here on Earth.
Oh, man.
And
Woo! All right, Longview,
Longview,
Uvalde.
Uvalde.
How special are these places to you?
Uvalde is where I was born. Uvalde we moved from when I was like 9, 10 years old. I remember we left there because a Wendy's had moved in and it was becoming too big of a city. We had just crested 10,000 people, so we got out of Uvalde. Actually, my dad had moved to Longview because the oil boom had hit. And Longview was the fastest growing city in the nation. There's a lot of chance for work in the oil field business. We moved to Longview. Longview's that piney thicket, man. Yeah, I mean, talk about, that's where so from 10 until 18, I went through a high school and had a lot of my friends I still got in life from there. Longview's where I sort of, Uvalde's where I learned to deal. Longview's where I learned to dream. Sitting atop a treehouse, a 13-story treehouse in Longview, Texas that I built. For the first time I could see the horizon far enough where I saw the curve of the earth. And that allowed me to go, I didn't know I could see that far. Let's start having some dreams that may be over the horizon.
When and where did you hit the first bongo?
The first skin? Oh man, I was hitting skins, playing any skin I could find before I even got to college here. Now, I've still played the skins. There was a little interlude where I was really playing. I was in such a good rhythm at 2:32 a.m. on October 19th, 1999. I was in such a good rhythm that evidently the cops decided to come here.
Heard about that. That's why you're on my bucket list, you know? That's why it's supposed to be you, Barkley, and Willie.
And I still get away with them. I just got a property now where I don't have neighbors so close it doesn't wake them up.
Oh. Hey, Texas students, let me get the word out here right now because I know it's going to be a buzz tomorrow night after this game. The coaching staff's going to be wearing these sick Nikes tomorrow, making tribute to the Irwin Center. We have Irwin Center seat fabric on one swoosh. We got a real game ball. We've got actually a piece of the net. These are sick, made by our friend Jake out there in San Antonio at Dank and Company. So I want to get that word and that shout out to Dank. I know our fans and Texas students are going to love watching the Sneaks tomorrow. In conclusion, we've given you great spots, great advice, the love advice. How about one final just kind of shot of real talk here to the students, kind of motivating them not only to come to the game tomorrow, but more importantly, to finish this semester off strongly.
You got one shot, you got one time. Make it count. I mean, look, I remember there, you're 18, you're 19, you're 20, you're 21, you think you're gonna live forever, and good. You should think that. And I'm not asking you to start thinking like, oh, I gotta get all serious about my life so quick, but I'm saying enjoy this time, but look over that horizon a little bit. Have the long view a little bit about where I wanna go, because the decisions you make right now are gonna be compounding assets for where the heck or heaven you end up in the future. So make it count, man. Life ain't supposed to be easy. You're supposed to be confused, frustrated. What the hell's going on? Why am I here? I don't like this. This is unfair. That's the gig. Play the game. That's it. And enjoy playing the game. That's as good as it gets.
In conclusion, on a personal note, I know I speak for a lot of people when I say this. You know, I tell the players all the time, more important things in life than basketball, leave a legacy. I tell the coaches all the time, more important things than today, like let's leave this job better than we found it. And I think when I think about you, it's exactly what you do. Thank you for everything you've done for this university, this city, this state. Every time somebody calls you on you in this city, this state of Texas, you always come answering. And men's basketball is one small, great example. Thank you for what you do for our program, this university, our athletic department. Man, this world's a better place because you've been in it. Much, much respect. Much respect.
Thank you for those words. Appreciate it.
Texas students, thanks for watching this week's edition of the Fireside Chat. See you out here tomorrow night for the last men's basketball game ever against an opponent that we have a lot of respect for. My friend Scott Drew, they'll be bringing the Bears down here tomorrow night for a great college basketball game. Hook 'em.
Hook 'em, baby.
One take.
That's it.
Foreigner, man. You got me on. I couldn't get.